Welcome back, Careblazer. In today's video, I want to talk about the hard fact that many of you go through when you love somebody with dementia, and that is watching your loved one with dementia kind of drift away before your eyes. So basically, you're losing your loved one with dementia over a period of time, and I want to share with you some ways that you can process that grief and honor each of those losses and cope with each of those losses along the way. I recently read a book called Loving Someone with Dementia, and I just thought it was a beautiful book. It described so honestly and genuinely the pain that many caregivers go through when they watch their loved one experience loss after loss and continue to go through this disease and get worse with passing of time. And it really had to deal with the caregiver's viewpoint and how they were managing to get through that grief while still caring for their loved one with dementia. And I want to share some big takeaways with you. When you love somebody with dementia, you are basically watching your loved one go through loss after loss after loss. It's like this long, drawn-out process that can take years, even a decade. And it's different, like when somebody dies from something very sudden or even something very clear, the community gathers, friends and family gather, they offer their condolences, they offer you support, they bring food, they check in, they surround you with the love and support that's really helpful. But when it comes to dementia and you're caring for somebody with dementia, it can seem like the opposite happens. Maybe in the beginning people are checking in and they're offering support, but as year after year after year goes by, it almost seems like people start to disappear. And when you need the support and help more than ever, it can feel like you're all alone in this journey. In some ways, it's like this never-ending cycle of saying goodbye. First, you might be saying goodbye to the dreams of traveling and retirement. Then maybe you're saying goodbye to the ability to have stimulating and intellectual conversations with your loved one. Then maybe you're saying goodbye to the ability to get out of the house together and go places together. Then maybe you're saying goodbye to more of those intimate moments you used to share with each other. It's like loss after loss after loss. The author of this book called this type of loss ambiguous loss. It is a long, drawn-out process of goodbye after goodbye after goodbye versus that very clear-cut, defined moment in time where your loved one is gone. So I want to share with you 3 key takeaways I got from reading the book in hopes that it can help you along your journey. First is to get comfortable with ambiguity. What this means is it's the idea that somebody can be here and also be gone. That maybe your spouse isn't who you married, but still someone you love and care for. It basically means you have 2 opposing views at the same time. It's knowing that your parent's alive and here, yet also knowing that they're gone. It's days that you're grateful your loved one's still here, and also days when you just wish the struggle will end. It's all a bit messy, and it's all completely normal. It's basically living in the middle ground, getting comfortable in the middle. The second takeaway I got from this book is grieve along the way, and I really like this takeaway. So it's impossible to fight back all the pain and tears and loss that you're experiencing watching your loved one go through this disease process. If you tried to hold that all back, you could be holding it back for many years, right? But it doesn't also mean that you're going to be somber and cry every day. Remember the first strategy, we're living in the middle, we're getting comfortable with ambiguity. But what grieving along the way means is that you can come up with a way to recognize and honor each significant loss as it happens. And the book had some really beautiful ways that caregivers honored those losses or had rituals for those losses along the way. Some caregivers would go to their church and light a candle with each big loss that their loved one went through. Another caregiver would document and write in her journal about this next stage of life. Another caregiver would invite close family and friends to come together for a gathering to again recognize another step and loss in the journey. How can you develop a ritual that is meaningful to you and allows you to recognize and honor the next loss that your loved one is having? So there's no right or wrong answer here. It's just something that's meaningful for you. And it could be anything like the examples I just gave you from the book, or it could be things like you plant a new plant. You might go for a nature hike. You might meditate. You might call up a friend and share the memories that are lost now and sharing in the next decline. You might look through an old photo album of you and your loved one together. Right? But just kind of get creative and see if this is something you might want to incorporate in your caregiving journey in terms of how do you want to grieve along the way. And the third takeaway was accepting what is. I really liked in the book how it talked about that you can grieve more easily when you don't try so hard to get over it. There is no neat closure. There is no clear ending. It's okay, it's possible for you to love a shell of a person if that's what you want to do. It's getting to this place of acceptance of what is, not really being happy with what's going on, but accepting that it is going on. Knowing that your loved one isn't going to get better, that they're going to continue to get worse. Having conflicting emotions about being really sad that this is happening, but also being frustrated that this is happening, or looking forward to when this is no longer happening. Just really accepting the situation, the reality of the situation, acknowledging that it's okay to have those conflicting emotions, acknowledging and being okay with it's messy. It's human life. And it's okay. And you just have to get through it the best way you know how. And there is no right way. Another thing I want to bring up here when it comes to accepting what is and something that can help you is knowing what your meaning is. Like, what meaning are you getting from caring for your loved one with dementia? And I'll link below to a video I did on this topic about knowing your reason. Why are you caring for your loved one with dementia? In a disease process that is so difficult and comes with so many challenges, you are showing up. You are a Careblazer. Why is that? Right? For some of you, it might be because you're returning the love that you were given when you were a child. For some of you, you may not have gotten much love, yet there's another reason you're providing that care. Like maybe you want to be the best version of yourself possible. So you can click that video below to kind of really be firm in knowing your meaning behind caring for your loved one. And this can really be important and something you can go to over and over again during those really difficult caregiving moments. So Careblazer, I really hope this video helps. I want you to get comfortable with ambiguity, what I like to call getting comfortable living in the messy middle. I want you to grieve along the way. Maybe consider thinking about a ritual you can develop and mark those big losses that happen along the way. And then also to accept what is, to not push back against what is happening. Sometimes the more you try to resist, the more it happens. There's a saying, the more you resist, the more you persist. So kind of just accepting this messy part of life that you're in right now. I hope that this brings you some comfort. I linked the book below. I linked my other video below on knowing your reasons. And I'll be back next week as always with another video, Careblazer. In the meantime, hang in there. You're doing an excellent job. Bye. Oh my goodness, I almost forgot to let all of you know that if you are watching this on the day it goes live, which is Sunday, May 17th, you literally have hours left to join me inside of my private program. It's called the Care Course. It's dedicated to helping overwhelmed, frustrated, confused, guilty Careblazers to start feeling more in control, more at peace, more calm, less stressed, and definitely less guilt. So if you feel like you would want to work with me further, I invite you to join me inside of my program. The last chance to join is today, Sunday, May 17th, 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. After that, no new members are accepted because I'm in there along with all the members every step of the way.